Thanks for tuning into my channel. The purpose of this channel is to promote discussions and conversations regarding philosophically meaningful concepts and ideas. Today, we are going to discuss the importance of the leaders of our government conveying the truth. President Trump has been a promoter or salesperson his entire adult life. However, his current role is not sales, it's leadership, presiding over the government of the United States of America. On February 25th, 2020, President Trump was visiting the country of India. President Trump made comments regarding the coronavirus in a press conference. President Trump's basic statement was that people need to be patient, as it appears the coronavirus will be under control and disappear in the month of April. Approximately 3 hours later, members of his own administration released information which contradicted the president's own statements. Nancy Messonnier of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention specifically stated, "It's not a matter of if, but when the coronavirus will begin spreading throughout communities in the United States of America." These two positions certainly contradict each other. However, both positions are truthful today. Either outcome is possible. Who are we to believe? And whose information is more important? Were President Trump's remarks intended to calm a nervous market? The stock market has lost almost 10% of its value in the last week. As of today, that number is closer to 20%. The 20% represents $3.5 million of wealth, or $17,000 for every adult in the United States. Much of the drop has been attributed to the expectation of reduced economic activity resulting from containment efforts to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Should the president be concerned with that amount of wealth erosion? Probably yes. President Trump's press conference ended as the stock market opened in the United States. For the first couple of hours, the stock market recovered pretty well. It is very possible this recovery was connected to President Trump's words. When Ms. Messonnier spoke, however, approximately 3 hours later, the market immediately turned down and losses began accelerating. Of course, we'll never know if President Trump expressed the April containment concept for the purpose of calming the markets. The question does remain, however, why would President Trump even convey the concept? The outcome he espoused is not highly probable and most assuredly not certain. As of January 29, 2020, there were 7,711 known cases of coronavirus found in 12 different countries. As of February 25, the date of the president's press conference, there were 80,248 known cases found in 37 different countries. Total deaths attributable to coronavirus have been counted as 2,704. Divided by 8,248 gives us 3.37%, my calculation of a mortality rate. I'm not an epidemiologist, so I don't know if the calculation is relevant or complete, but I know the math is correct. By comparison, CDC estimates that the burden of illness during the 2018-2019 flu season in the United States included an estimated 35.5 million people getting sick with influenza, 16.5 million people going to the healthcare provider for their illness, 490,600 hospitalizations, and 34,200 deaths from influenza. 34,200 divided by 35.5 million is 0.01%. That is the number CDC uses as the mortality rate for influenza for the 2018 to 2019 flu season. The mortality rate of coronavirus could be as much as 33.7 times higher than the flu. If the coronavirus is as infectious as the flu, and this mortality rate holds, you're looking at 1,152,540 deaths from coronavirus in the United States this year. Do you want the leader of the United States of America to provide information that is intended to calm the financial markets? Or should he provide information that is intended to educate and prepare all citizens for the possible effects of the coronavirus? As we mentioned earlier, President Trump has been a salesperson and a promoter, and a very successful one, for most of his adult life. If you read biographies of President Trump, he very clearly is Machiavellian in his approach to leadership. Everything is viewed through the lens of victories, conquests, and success. Deception is a useful Machiavellian trait. Unfortunately, President Trump tends to view everything through the lens of victories and defeats, even domestic matters. He seems to have failed to adopt a unified approach to leading the citizens of the United States, regardless of the situation in front of us. Is the president supposed to view every situation and every action he takes through the lens of competition against other human beings? In this case, isn't the opponent a biological phenomenon? The Constitution of the United States enumerates very few powers to the president. Congress has bestowed additional powers on the president, and of course, because the president is enumerated as the executive of the government of the United States, he does have many implied powers. I would argue the president's most important powers are soft powers, though. These are the powers that enable him to move markets, rally citizens, affect public opinion, and lead us into new frontiers. The attributes of the office, which reflect our society, that bestow soft powers, are high standards of ethical, moral, cultural, and political values. Our presidents have not been men that were holy, saintly, or without error, but our great presidents have been those who have led us to discover poetic truths. Poetic truths are different than demonstrable truths. Poetic truths convey truth by using words to trigger insights into the nature of everyday social life and existence. Poetic speech resonates with ordinary experience, triggering, clarifying, and consolidating insights into the realities of our everyday socio-cultural existence. It works to attune us and ground us in the norms of social existence. Listen to the words of our founding fathers, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our posterity do ordain and establish. The preamble of the Constitution was part of and focused on conveying soft power to the President, the Congress, and the judiciary, our government, our society as a whole. And the foundation of our society is built on the poetry of the Declaration of Independence. Again, listen to the words. When in the course of human events, the laws of nature and nature's God, and most importantly, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. These statements were not demonstrably true then, and they are not demonstrably true today, but they continue to be our aspiration, our hope. We expect our president to lead us on a journey towards the truths enumerated in our founding documents, to forge a path away from our demons of the past, and to that shining city on the hill, which will be our collective salvation for this life and for our posterity. If this is the role of our president, is Donald Trump doing a good job? I look forward to hearing your comments and your opinions.